Attention Commanders fans, get ready for a bombshell. An underestimated player who could change everything? Yes, it's happening. Our new hero on the defensive line is making everyone tremble. Could this be the ace up our sleeve that we needed? Don't miss out. And now the pressure is at its peak. Week 17, injuries everywhere, and a crucial game against the Falcons. Can our team overcome the odds and secure their playoff spot? The tension is at its limit, and every detail counts. But wait, there's more! A surprise that could change everything. Our defensive leader, after a long absence, is back just in time. Will his return be the boost we need to secure our playoff position? This is huge! People! Now tell me, when was the last time we thought an underestimated player could really change the course of a team? Well, here we are, talking about Sheldon Day. Yes, a name that surely wasn't on many Commanders fans' radar at the start of the season, but let me tell you this, Day is making all the right noise and is exceeding expectations on that defensive line. Joe Witt Jr., our defensive coordinator, is a guy who doesn't hesitate to give his opinion. The man knows what he wants, knows what he's looking for in his defense, and it seems he's found something special in Day. This comes from a guy who said, and I quote, "I like big players." Translation, Sheldon Day wasn't what Witt would normally prefer. But look at this, even though he doesn't fit the mold of huge and dominant, Day plays with a heart bigger than that Commander's uniform, and his impact is undeniable. Now folks, let me ask you, how many of you underestimated this man when you heard he was signed from the practice squad? How many said, "Oh, just another filler for the roster"? I tell you this, that's exactly what these Commanders are looking for. A player who not only understands his role, but maximizes it 110%. Witt highlighted it. Day is a smart guy, a guy who reads the offensive line like an open book, a guy who understands blocking schemes, who can anticipate whether it will be a pass or a run. Listen, that's not just anything. That intelligence, folks, is what separates average players from those who truly contribute to collective success. But of course, Sheldon Day's story didn't start here in Washington. It's been a long journey full of ups and downs. This is his 6th team in the NFL. 6 teams, folks! How many players, after being discarded so many times, would keep fighting? Because make no mistake, this man has been counted out of the league several times. And yet there he is, proving he still has gas in the tank, that he can still contribute, and boy, is he doing it. When Jonathan Allen went down with that pectoral injury against the Ravens, anyone would have thought the Commanders' defense would falter. But Sheldon Day not only stepped in, he stepped in and delivered. And now we're talking about how he has become a crucial cog in this defense. He's not a flashy player, he doesn't seek to catch the camera flashes, but he plays within the scheme, and let me tell you something, that's exactly what Witt wants, and we should want it too. Now look folks, we all know this season has been an emotional roller coaster for the Commanders. The defense has had solid moments, but also its ups and downs. So the question is this, can Sheldon Day maintain this level to finish the season strong? We're talking about consistency. Because it's one thing to impress for a couple of games, and a whole different thing to be that reliable guy week after week. Will Day and Witt be a combination we can look to in 2025 and think, wow, there's something special? I believe, yes sir, I believe Day is on a good path, but we also have to be realistic. We're in the NFL. Here, nothing is guaranteed. If Day wants to be more than just a pleasant surprise this season, he'll have to keep raising his level, because in this sport, you're only as good as your last game. And now I leave you with this to ponder, fellow Commanders fans. How do you see Sheldon Day fitting into future plans? I'll read your comments. Now let's talk about what's important. The moment of truth has arrived. Week 17 and the pressure is at its peak. But here's the million-dollar question. Can this team overcome the adversity posed by injuries and seal their playoff ticket? Because, listen well, there's a lot at stake this Sunday against the Falcons, and these injuries are complicating the task. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Marshon Lattimore. Our best cornerback, our key piece in the secondary, and now he's in danger of missing this big game. Why does this possible loss hurt so much? Very simple, Lattimore is the guy who nullifies rival superstars. This defense needs him to deal with the Falcons' aerial attack. We saw him go out hurt against the Eagles with that hamstring injury, and now if we don't see him practice on Friday, count him out. And here's where I ask you, how deep is this defense really at the cornerback position without Lattimore? Because, let's be honest, This is the kind of injury that can completely change the game. But that's not all, friends. Andrew Wiley, our starting right tackle, also appears on the injury report with a groin issue. Listen, at this point in the season, we all know the offensive line is fundamental. Without stability on that line, you say goodbye to a consistent ground game and the time needed for Daniels to find his receivers. Sure, Cornelius Lucas is a capable replacement, but can he handle an Atlanta defensive line that doesn't back down? And if you thought the list of bad news ended there, don't forget about Dyami Brown, who has been quietly gaining relevance in this offense. That deep catch last week against the Eagles was a reminder of his potential as a vertical weapon, giving us another option beyond Terry McLaurin to wreak havoc on rival secondaries. With his hamstring injury, his absence could limit the aerial game, especially against an Atlanta defense that, while not elite in the NFL, knows how to adjust. Despite all this, there's something that has me thinking. Why do we keep seeing these types of recurring injury problems at crucial moments? It's the NFL, yes, but we also have to be honest. Roster depth and backup preparation are what differentiate good teams from championship teams. The question is, do the Commanders have enough depth to withstand the blow, especially in key positions like cornerback, offensive line, and wide receiver? We can't ignore what's happening on the Falcons side either. Drake London is a bit banged up. If he's not at 100%, it could give us some breathing room on defense. But we're not here to depend on Atlanta's weaknesses, we're here to face our own challenges and move forward. Now, I don't want to sound pessimistic because this squad has heart, has talent, and believe me when I say they can fight. A win this Sunday not only secures the playoff ticket. No sir, it also sends a message to the entire NFC. The Commanders are here to compete. But here's my warning. If we want to make noise in January, we need to win these crucial games. And absences or injuries can't be excuses. Great teams find a way to win, period. So, I ask you, my Commanders people, what adjustments do you want to see if Lattimore or Dyami Brown are unavailable? Because this Sunday, we're not just playing for the 7th spot, we're playing for respect. We're playing to show that we're not just another team that sneaks in. Leave me your opinions and predictions in the comments. Stop everything, because here comes news that could tip the scales in our favor in this crucial clash against the Falcons. Jonathan Allen is back. That's right, the anchor of our defense, the heart of that front line, the two-time Pro Bowler is ready to return after being out for 9 long games. Tell me, is there a better end-of-year gift for this defense? Look, when you lose a player like Allen, you don't just lose a generational talent, you lose leadership, attitude, and that essential drive that makes others elevate their level. Now, Allen not only returns, he returns hungry, with energy and eager to finish strong. And that, folks, could be the spark this defense needs to make a leap just when it matters most. Let's be clear, Allen hasn't seen action since he suffered that partially torn pectoral injury in the game against the Ravens over 2 months ago. 9 weeks without one of your best players is a long time, especially on a team that relies so much on its defensive line to set the tempo of games. But now, while we were worried about the losses like Marshawn Lattimore's, Allen returns as a lifesaver just in time to face the Falcons and solidify our playoff position. And listen to this. When asked if he was ready to play, Allen responded confidently. "I'm preparing as if I'm going to play," he said. That's what you want to hear from one of your most veteran leaders. Sure, he left the door open for the coaching staff to make the final decision, but everything points to Allen being on the field this Sunday. And what does this mean for us? It means constant pressure on Desmond Ridder, it means greater solidity stopping the Falcons' ground attack, and it means that level of intensity that only a leader like Jonathan Allen can bring. Now, friends, allow me to take a second to put this in context. The Commanders are 10-5, 10-5! We're playing meaningful football in December, and that, my friends, is territory Jonathan Allen hasn't been in many times in his 8 seasons with Washington. This guy has suffered more than his fair share with losing seasons, and despite everything, he kept giving his all for this franchise. Do you think he's ready to leave it all on the field now that the important stuff is on the line? Without a doubt, this is the moment Allen has been waiting for his entire career with the Commanders. But beware, not everything is done. Atlanta doesn't come to be a stepping stone, they come with their own hunger, fighting for their division. This Falcons team has offensive weapons like Bijan Robinson and Drake London, who can hurt us if we're not 100% on defense. That's why having Allen, his reading ability, his brute strength, and his ability to penetrate the rival offensive line can make the difference between triumph and disappointment. That said, let me tell you, Allen can't do it alone. His return is monumental, but this defense, especially the line, needs to show itself as a united front. Because, let's be clear, if we really want to make noise in the playoffs, it's not enough to just qualify. We need to win these tough games, and we need our defensive line dominating. So here we are, just days away from a crucial matchup that could secure us a spot in the postseason. But now it's your turn to join this conversation. What impact do you think Jonathan Allen's return will have on this game? Leave me your opinions below, because this team deserves the support of each and every one of you. Fellow Commanders fans, how do you see Sheldon Day fitting into future plans? What adjustments do you think would be necessary if Lattimore or Dyami Brown are unavailable? And finally, what impact do you think Jonathan Allen's return will have on this game? We want to hear your opinions and analysis, so leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the news and updates about our beloved Commanders. Join this community that's like a family. Together we are stronger. And remember, hail to the Redskins!